This question give you the mean and also the standard deviation. And then they give you that the standard score of BD in test 1 is 1.5. You have to understand the meaning of this sentence. Standard score, that means how many times of SD are away from mean or above mean. And then if you use the length to present it, that means it seems like I'm asking how many cm long is that. Now they tell you that the standard score BD in test 1, so we apply the first row and know the second row, and then it's 1.5, so we have to interpret this sentence. This sentence means the BD time is 1.5 times of SD above mean. So make sure you know how to interpret this one. Therefore, when we write it down in our paper, we will say that BD time is equal 1.5 times of SD above mean. That's the meaning. And apply to this case, we know that the SD is 2, while the mean of test 1 is 20. So we can directly write down 1.5 times 2 and then plus 20. If you understand the meaning, that is so straightforward. The time is 23 seconds. And then we finished part A, got 2 marks already. In part B, the time distribution are normally distributed. That is a certain kind of a common distribution. And then use 20 seconds to run the test in 2. He claimed that to other student performance is better in 2. So basically, when we comparing to other students, we are talking about the ranking. And the standard score somehow is a standardized method to express the ranking. 2 different data, they have different means, so it's meaningless to describe the absolute value directly. But however, if we change it back to ranking in test 1, ranking in test 2, then we can compare among different data. Therefore, in order to compare with the ranking standard score here, we are trying to find out what is the standard score of BD in test 2. You may apply the same formula here. In test 2, BD's time is how many SD above the mean of second test. But beware that the standard score is unknown, it's our target. We don't know what is the standard score in test 2. So we use set to represent it. And then SD, we are talking about test 2. And then plus the mean. Also talking about test 2. Now we plug in all the value. BD times in test 2 is talking about 20 seconds. So I replace this part by 20. Set is still unknown, while the SD in test 2 is 1 second. So I replace this by 1. And also the mean in test 2 is 18. So I replace it by 18. We got set is equal to 2, which means that the BD's standard score in test 2 is 2. We are going to draw our conclusion. It's about the standard score. So the key point is what is the meaning of better here. In different situations, we have different requirement for better. And then usually for a 100-meter race, we are talking about the faster is better, which means the time shorter is referred to better. In test 2, the standard score is higher, which means compared with other students, the time he spent is longer than others. So that's why we should say that the test 2 result is even worse than test 1. Therefore, I can't agree the claim. The claim is disagreed. We will say that BD comparing to other students, he spent longer time than others in test 2. So he performed worse in test 2 than in test 1, that's why we disagree. At the end, there is another method for you to get the standard score of BD. You may just directly apply to the formula. It's related to x, the corresponding value, minus the x bar divided by sigma. It's also a method to get the standard score. Now the x here is 20, while the mean of test 2 is 18. The SD is 1. So finally you get the same result. The standard score in test 2 is 2.